Big helicopter going over. I was sitting there thinking about shooting some video about the Ferguson fire and the effects around here. You can see how the sun's kind of orangish. Here's another one. All this white stuff, actually there's not much right now. I kind of shook it off earlier when I first got here, but there's ash settled everywhere. The dust right now is pretty much all ash. You can see it's more smoky that direction and then bluer this direction. But today down by Oakhurst, down at my nest, I saw a CH-53, I think, the Sea Stallion one, with the tube hanging down like it was going to get water out of the Fresno River. I've also saw this twice this afternoon when I was taking the trail around, which if you looked at the last episode, I talked about taking the back trail from Fish Camp around that way towards Raymond Mountain and then back towards Goat Meadow instead of the usual method, which is 41 around this hill and then into Yosemite slightly and then back up. So today I went for Fish Camp. Anyway, when I was driving, twice I saw that DC-10, I think it's called LVAT, extremely low? Anyway, it's low altitude tank or something. Anyway, I saw it twice, very close, like less than 1,000 feet below the deck, from the deck. Anyway, so, lots of smoke. You can see that orangish stuff. That doesn't look good. Luckily, the wind is coming from that direction, so hopefully it'll keep blowing it that direction. But one other thing I was going to say, because I seen days when Oakhurst, Mariposa, everywhere you went around here, it was just terrible. It was air quality of like 60-something, which is like red. And I'm kind of like really nomadic right now, so with the 3D Sapiens Roadshow, among other things. There we go. So sometimes it's like, okay, what do I do? Where do I go to get out of this smoke? And what I have found is that the car, being as loaded as it is with stuff, there's the back curtain. So, being as loaded as it is, there's not that much airspace in there. And what I have found, another great thing about Owl here, is, good old boy, he's still got his tie on from the interview. If you haven't seen the interviews, very funny stuff, you should go check them out on 3D Sapiens Roadshow. But anyway, Owl is perfect size for that little vehicle. So I put him in at night, sits on the floor up there below the steering wheel, and he provides enough oxygen to where I'm fine in there. And it's, I think, pretty healthy, because like in the morning, first thing I'll do a lot of times is pop open the door when I wake up just to peek out, because like one time, first time with Fax, we popped open the door and there was a deer right there. So you never know what you're going to see when you pop open the door. But anyway, with the smoke, depending on which way the winds are blowing and whatnot, usually when you pop open the door, you're going to smell, what I usually smell is smoke. So then I close the door and get ready for the day. And you can smell the difference between, inside and outside. So, but we survived. A good old Sioux buddy here, man. That trail getting here, I didn't realize we were on a blue square, and I literally had to make some of the trail to get through. And even then, when I came through it, the last video that I shot, it was sideways. I mean, it was like in an airplane they call it flying at a yaw, where the airplane's not really going like this, it's going like that. That's what the car was doing. It was kind of going sideways, kind of sliding off that gully. So I was driving at an angle like that, but the car was sideways like that. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty hairy, but we made it. All the tires are intact. And so anyway, not recommended though. The route that we took. Oof, look at all that smoke. Terrible. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to get back to what I was doing, and hope you guys have a great day, whatever you're doing. If you're local people, sometimes the best air in town, in the area, is right up here. And one other thing I was thinking, I realized, is that it doesn't get much better. If I'm sitting, okay, right now the chair ensemble, as I call it, is not in the best of places for air, but like you see that rock right there, that's there for a reason. That's a footstool, okay? So if I'm sitting there, I'm getting all the oxygen from these little guys. And oxygen coming up the hill from the big guys and the bigger saplings and whatnot. And, you know, it can't get much worse than that, I suppose, or much better than that, I suppose. So at night with Al in the car, I get, you know, good oxygen, I think. And then worst case scenario, outside, sitting, well, the worst case scenario during the day is I would just sit in the driver's seat and do my thing there with Al sitting beside me with the windows closed up. Although then it gets pretty hot, so you want to be outside. So again, with the wind, the way it's blowing today, that's what I'm getting, is the blue stuff. That orange stuff is going in that direction, towards Yosemite, which is closed, by the way, if you haven't heard. I'll probably shoot some video of the sign, because it's really eerie looking. Yosemite Park closed due to fire or whatever. Anyway, so sitting out here in the saplings is probably some of the best oxygen you're going to get around here. So for those of you local, what I was getting at, those of you locals who are staying away from camping because of this stuff, you don't need to. With the proper precautions, you can be breathing just fine out here. So come on out. That's the whole thing about the road show, is folks need to get out more. So hope you join me out here sometime. I'm always looking for rappelling victims or whatever. So flip this around. Okay, so again, feel free to get out. Just check the air quality index maps that are online that you can get, and see where the little bubbles of green are. You may have to go to the coast like Fax and I did a couple weeks ago, but c'est la vie en Roumanie, comme dit en français, avec le bout de... Anyway, I'm digressing again. Okay, folks, I gotta go. There's the fire. Smoke, anyway. Big thank you to the firefighters. It's one of the cool things. Signs plastered everywhere thanking them, so hell of a job they're doing. So, anyway, Dan Davis signing off. Thanks again, and we'll see you again. Adios.